Welcome to the Follow Me podcast. I'm Josh and this is Gabe, and thanks for following us for a new episode.
So, all our introductions are like corny.
Yeah.
Like, how are you supposed to start these things?
I don't know.
Don't you think that's funny?
It is, and that's the only thing that feels awkward every time too.
Yeah, like you sit down, you're like, okay, hello, welcome back. Here we are.
Yeah.
For another episode.
Have you gotten any comments on
No,
the introduction?
but I
haven't either.
I just feel
Yeah, it feels awkward.
dumb. But
Probably
we have to tell
overthinking
people.
it.
We have to tell people we're back.
Yep.
We're here.
So how do you think everything's going?
All right. So I think I'm learning lots of how the world functions between, like, I didn't fully understand like how Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, it's like there's like no place. I don't know. It's
There's
I-
not a central place to direct everything out of. Is that what
right.
you're saying?
Yeah. So I'm not a big social media guy. I mean, I'm on Facebook a little bit. I'm on Instagram a little bit. Like, are you?
I just
Yeah,
got
but you
back
went
on
off
Fa-
Facebook.
I was
gonna
off
say, you were off
for like
Facebook for a
5
long
years.
time.
Yeah. And then I got back on for this reason.
We won't tell the story, but you and I were like OG Facebook guys.
Everybody's going to say that. Oh, whatever.
I know they're gonna say, I'm telling you.
Yes, we
Like,
were.
we were on Facebook for
We were on there for one reason.
to play games.
Yep.
And it was before I think friend requests. I don't know how it all worked, but we got on there and played games.
Yeah.
Farkle.
It was like, probably like 02. 01 to 03, somewhere in there, I believe. Then it was the next up and coming thing.
Yeah.
And now here we are.
I don't even know when it originally started, whatever. But
Yeah,
we
I
actually
don't
got on there to play Texas Hold'em with
Yep.
each other.
Yep.
From home.
Yep.
It was fun.
Yeah.
And then it went from there to playing games with our wives and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So here's a funny thing. So we got on there to play. I don't know if you remember this. We got on there. This is going to blend right in. We got on there to play Hold'em.
Yeah.
And
I remember I was freaking out because they wanted my email.
Yep.
I'd never put my email on the internet to anything.
So then we're in this room playing poker with other people. And some dude started talking trash.
I don't remember this.
He was criticizing the way we were playing. And I got extremely irritated. I got offended. Okay.
Okay.
I got offended. And I was like wanting to, somebody I didn't know talking trash on how I was playing poker. And it really agitated me.
And so what'd you do?
Well, I started to chirp back, in the little chat box. And then I was like, hey, dude, you don't know this guy. Like why are you letting this guy get under your skin? Don't even know the guy. And this guy's under my skin. So my point being is that I've gotten better at that, but I can still get offended at the littlest, stupidest things. So my question would be, is that a change? That's obviously got to be a change of heart, right?
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean change it? Like,
so let's draw it into somebody pulling out in front of me. Okay.
mm-hmm.
And I might start saying things I shouldn't. Hey, jerk. Something like that. I would like to think that I'm having a change of heart because in instances when that happens, I can say something that I'm irritated at the person, but then I turn around and I'm like, you know what? Lord, I'm really sorry. I just did that. I know I shouldn't do that. I don't know that person's situation. They might be in a rush for something. I don't know. Maybe it's the Lord holding me up from something else, something bigger. I don't know. So I feel like it's slowly changing my heart because now it's as soon as I do it, boom, boom. Now I recognize, you know what, dude.
So do you think that's God related or age related?
think it's wisdom related. Little of both. Definitely God related. I would say God related more than age related. But now in hindsight, when you look at everything, yeah, there's what do they call them? Trolls everywhere going into everything, you know, and it's I know there's people out there just trying to cause chaos. Not that he was, but there's a lot of that. So
see, that would bother me less. The driving thing, I am like road rage guy. I mean,
okay.
I'm not going to take action,
Yeah.
but my mouth is going the whole time. We actually talked about this morning. It's like, I don't know. There's things that I am furious with people when I'm driving because I'm always in a hurry. Like I'm always trying to go somewhere and get there. And like people in the left lane on 69 going the same speed as somebody in the right lane makes my brain leak out my ear. But then there's been times where, let's say I'm on a trip and I have a trailer and I'm driving and I'm on the phone. And then I find myself doing that. So I've like been guilty of the very thing that sends me over the edge.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm more understanding, but my wife says, I think everybody's a jerk and an idiot. And what's this idiot doing?
Are you the same? Go back 20 years. Are you still the same driver, if you will, in that aspect?
No, I'm not as aggressive as I used to be. I'm softer. But I mean, I'm saying I would hope that it's Jesus in me, but I'm saying some of it could be age too, and getting older and more experience, more understanding.
More wise.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so now let's take that.
I would say this. If you're going to talk about offense, being offended, basically, that nobody's getting around this subject in their life.
No.
Like this is a subject that's literally going to affect everybody at some point. So how do you deal with people who are being offensive? Like we're talking about small stuff here. We're talking about a Facebook comment or somebody driving like an idiot on the road.
Yep.
Okay. But there are real opportunities to be offended by people who are trying to offend you. Does that make sense? Some people are cluelessly offending you. There are other people who are intentionally offending you.
Yes.
And how do you not take up that offense? I'm definitely more understanding. So this is going to offense is going to tie to forgiveness, and the whole thing's going to be like, and nobody's not getting around this subject. It's at some point in your life, you're going to deal with offense and then forgiveness.
I would be willing to say there's 100% of people. Jim Bob walks by, we yank him in here, sit him down in a chair next to me and go, tell me something you're offended about right now.
Oh my gosh.
Tell me something that you should forgive somebody.
Tell me something that somebody, so just think about this. An offense, somebody offended is an offense. Okay. Somebody offensively did something to you that you need to forgive, or you're struggling dealing with the forgiveness.
Yes.
Dude, this is probably the hardest subject.
It is. And I think it's one of the things that a lot of people deal with. I mean, one reason why I wanted to bring this up is I've had so many conversations the past 2 weeks with people making the statement, this person is saying things to me that is offending me, bothering me. And this statement's been brought up a lot. I know I need to forgive them for that, but I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know how.
Well, first of all, you'd have to, not everybody wants to. Not everybody's at that spot. There are some people who have some conscience about that, who say, I know I need to forgive them, I can't. There's other people like, it isn't in the cards. Like, I'm not doing it. I don't care. Like,
yes.
I break it. There's categories for me, forgiveness.
So let's focus on, you want to focus on the forgiveness part right now?
Well, I don't think you can separate them.
Yep.
I think being offended.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, if we're going to talk about going around and offending people or people who are offending us, like, I don't know how long that lasts.
Yep.
Because that subject is.
It's all roughly the same thing. in a way.
You're either offending somebody or you're getting offended. And the knowledge of it, I think, is important.
Yes.
So it would be easier to forgive somebody who doesn't know they're hurting you
Yes.
than somebody who does know they're hurting you and trying to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so I have categories in my brain. The two main categories are I'm naturally forgiving.
Yep.
Like I just am. Like I just get over things and move past it, except this. I easily forgive somebody who has done something. I have a hard time forgiving somebody who's doing something.
Continues to do it.
Continues to do it. Not holding, because it's just like re-puncturing that wound.
Yeah.
And then I would go to, there are people who are offending me that have no idea they're offending me. And there are people who are targetedly offending, trying to offend me. I think that's different for me.
Yeah.
This is my personal.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think that anybody gets around this subject at some point in your life you have to deal with.
Yeah. But let's go back to it. So you got them in categories, but according to the Bible,
there's no categories.
There's no categories.
No. And so I think that's the crux of, I mean, really, my brain goes to right here when you say, are you following Jesus? Like, man, you can say you're following Jesus, but this right here is where it proves out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is really where it proves out. To follow him doesn't mean that you are walking in forgiveness, but it means you know you should, and that you are working towards figuring out how that's going to play out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you have the right to just say, I'm following Jesus, and go like, I'm just not doing this. I think that's a dangerous spot to be. So this week we watched you actually turned me on to it, but I was already I was already aware of it, but you told me to make time for it. Watch the Josh Howerton and Sean Ryan. And I think Josh I really like him. He's got anointing on him. But he said something that I thought just sums it up on a 20,000 foot view, which is hell is a place of forgiveness or unforgiveness. I'm sorry. Hell's a place of unforgiveness. That's why you're there. You didn't receive the forgiveness that Jesus offered as a free gift to you to go to heaven. So the whole premise of hell is that you're not forgiven. That you're going to pay your debt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And heaven is the whole premise that you're forgiven. It's a place of forgiveness. That's why you're there. Okay. So this is obviously afterlife, right? The two are in categories. He's like, when you choose unforgiveness, you invite hell into your life. And when you choose forgiveness, you invite heaven into your life.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I would say this next statement because I think it's important. Forgiveness is not forgiving the act. It's forgiving the actor. Like, a lot of people are justified in the wrong that they were wronged.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of times if you're offended, it might be because it was offensive.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're talking about all levels all the way up to where people murdered somebody of your family.
Yeah. Or
called you an idiot in front of somebody that made you look stupid in front of people. Like, the range is, again, there's this huge range of what, and so there are things that I don't know how people have forgiven the other person. Then there's people hanging on to stuff that's so petty, and so you don't know. Jesus tells a parable when Peter comes to him and says, "Hey, how many times should I forgive my brother? 7 times." And Jesus said, "Why don't we go 7 times 70 times, which is 490 times. You're supposed to forgive an offense, right?"
Mm-hmm.
The point was, it's not 490 times. It's you keep forgiving.
Yes.
Okay. And then he goes and tells a story. He tells a parable. He basically says that there was a king who had debtors, and he brought all of his debtors in, and one of the guys that he brought in owed him, I think the New International Version says, like 10,000 bags of gold. They said it was like Elon Musk money. Okay. And told the guy, I'm going to sell your wife, your kids, your house, all your stuff, so you can till you pay this debt back. And he begged for forgiveness, and he begged and said, I'll pay you, and begged, and the king felt bad for him and totally canceled his whole debt. Then that guy goes out, finds somebody that owes him like $100 versus Elon Musk money. Okay. And he's choking him and telling him he must pay, and then throws the guy in jail. Okay. And then he says that the master found out about that, called him back in, and threw him in prison until he could pay his debt. Okay. So the point is that if in comparison, what you're not forgiving, think about Jesus looking at you and just think about you writing down everything in your life that he has forgiven you from in your whole life. Everything.
I'd probably
I'm
just be writing nonstop.
No, my point is just I mean, I think of a wall. Like, just start writing on this wall, this huge wall. Everything in your life would be like this debt that Jesus has forgiven you for. And then you're like, I can't forgive this guy for making a Facebook post about me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the story.
Yeah.
The story is you're out choking the guy writing a Facebook story about you when you've been forgiven everything you've ever done wrong and everything you're going to do wrong.
Yep.
That's the parable.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he put it.
Yeah.
And so if you're following him, then you have to take that seriously.
Yeah.
And you have to say, what is it? And I think that it's, honestly, I'll be honest with you. I think it's less about the person that you're forgiving. You're not stamping that what they did is okay. You're not saying I'm okay with what they did. You're just letting a person be flawed because you're flawed.
Yes. Do you think that's the biggest struggle with people? That they're combining the two and keeping it as one subject?
What do you mean?
So you're talking about the action versus the actor, forgiving the actor versus the action, that people are putting those together and they can't get by, versus if you break those apart, it makes it easier.
Well, I don't know that makes it easier. It makes it the command. Okay. So I'm not saying any of this is easy.
Correct.
Listen, I've lived some situations. I personally have had forgiveness situations that have lasted years. I'm naturally forgiving, and I've had things that have lasted a few years.
So I don't think I'm sidetracking here, but you say you're naturally forgiving. Have you always been that way?
Here's what I was saying.
So somebody might hear this and you're saying,
no, I'm naturally forgiving to somebody. Here's what I would say in categories, maybe in categories where if you did me wrong and you know it and you're actually sorry about it, I'm naturally, some people who somebody does something to them and then they're sorry, they still can't get over it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you're actually sorry for it, I easily be like, okay, you had a bad moment. You know, I know, and I can let it go. If there's reconciliation, I can let it go. Like, let's say you and I have falling out and we still disagree, but we agree that we're going to be good, that our relationship's more important than this thing that divides us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I'm naturally forgiving. I think it's a lot harder when you did something to me and then I naturally forgive you for doing that. And then when I drive by your house, you're flipping me off.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And
Mm-hmm.
so now I'm like, that gets a lot more difficult. When two people want to reconcile, I think it's a lot easier to forgive.
Yes.
And even if you don't agree, but you both are admittedly saying to yourselves that their personal relationship part is more important than our disagreement, even though we still disagree or we still, then I can move on. If somebody did something to me that's wrong and then they're standing there with disdain for me and then still continuing to make my life miserable, that's a lot harder.
So if I walk by your office and I poke my head in there and I slap you in the back of the head hard and just walk away and
I'd
laugh.
be really unhappy about that.
Okay. And I kept doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
But then one day I feel like, and I've put myself in this situation. Okay. Let's reverse those roles. You come by my office, you slap me in the back of the head. I'm getting irritated. I'm offended with you. There are a lot of times where I will, if someone would say, well, you need to forgive Gabe for that.
Yeah.
There are times where I will say, I'm not going to forgive him until he apologizes. And I've said that, but I know that I don't, okay, have I apologized every time for Jesus for all I've done? You see what I'm going here? And I'm going to be honest here is you've through the years, because I know some pretty important things in my life that I've said that. Once I get an apology, then I'll forgive them. And I know that it's not how it works, is that I've forgiven that person. I haven't forgot about the actions.
You're a vindictive little sucker.
But this is that subject that we're both, I feel like we're both saying the same thing, because
we are. But so, like, let's say you come to me and you're expressing unforgiveness because you have. This is real life happened. You and I. It's like you'll come to me and you'll tell me something and you'll just be bent about it. Okay.
Yes.
And you think that I'm coaching you to go make things right with that guy,
but you're not.
I'm actually trying to set you free from you and the hell you're causing. The hell you're inviting into your life.
Yes.
And so to be clear.
And this is some recent knowledge for me and exactly what you're saying.
Well, somebody called you and I 3 or 4 months ago. And they had an issue with somebody. They wanted to say, this person genuinely said, tell me how to follow Jesus in this moment because I don't know how to do it.
Yes. Okay.
That's kind of what sparked you wanting to do this podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Was you said that I said things, and I don't remember what I said, that you didn't see it in that light. It was what I told that person was, this has nothing to do with the offender or the offense. This has to do with you and God. What you want to do is not dictating anymore. What Jesus said to do is dictating. There's nobody who wants to naturally walk in forgiveness, who wants to forgive somebody for offending them or doing something wrong to them, especially when it's completely justified that what happened to them is wrong. If you're slapping me in the back of the head, it's wrong. And I'm going to have a hard time not being word about it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know that you can stop the emotions, stop the feelings. That's not what this is about. And it's not about being a doormat either. I can tell you that. So I'm not on that favor. And I'm not for justifying the offense and saying, oh, it's okay because I'm supposed to forgive you. I'm telling you that unforgiveness in you is dangerous for you.
It is.
So how do you deal with that? I think there's a lot of different scenarios. Like somebody could throw a scenario, you'd be like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If you're smacking me in the back of the head every day for real, like there'd be a fight before there'd be forgiveness.
But then what's that do? Because you just, in a way,
you just
invited the hell part, because now you and I are physically fighting.
I don't know. Yeah, I hear you.
And it's tough. Yeah, I know. But something you said back in that situation was doing something back at that person isn't. So we're not talking something over and over again. Let's go back to let's keep it fairly simple. Something did something to offend him, and you talked about, well, getting him back isn't what it's about. That would be the inviting the hell part. Two wrongs don't make it right. You said it's about what Jesus did for me.
How can I hold a standard over somebody that Jesus isn't holding over me?
Yes.
I'm probably going to get in trouble when I say what I'm going to say. people who like IU. So somebody pointed this out to me. Somebody said this to me actually about Bob Knight, and I was like, man, that's crazy. He held everybody to a standard he didn't hold himself to. He was all about discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And he throws a chair across this freaking court.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was all about
Yeah.
this rigid, this is how it goes, but then he didn't live by that same standard.
Yeah.
Himself. It actually cost him his job. You understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of like.
Would you say that we all do that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I would say everybody's
Fair.
guilty of that.
Yes.
Yeah. It's so weird how we're so blinded by our own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, to have an objective of view into something. Nobody wants to be judged in their worst moment and then said, this is who this person is. Okay. Like, if you took my worst day, I don't want to be videoed, and I don't want to be judged on that day and be like, that's who that guy is. Do you realize that? And sometimes somebody might have offended you, and that's the only experience you have with that person. You don't know anything they've done. You don't know any of the good they've had. You had a bad experience when that guy had a bad day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so now that person comes out and he's doing something good, and somebody's like, that guy did this to me. You know what I mean? And that's how that's how dangerous it is to measure a person in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Unforgiveness is a hard subject because it's going to keep coming back.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to keep rearing its head. I think it's 2 Timothy 2. At the end of the chapter, it says something about being quarrelsome. Okay.
2 Timothy 2:24 through 26.
Yes, we talked about this.
Yep.
So it's basically the trap of the enemy is to get you in a quarrel. Like, think about division. A house divided against itself cannot stand.
Mm-hmm.
The number one breakdown in society. Look what's happening right now. It's division. It's quarrelsome. It's the trap.
Yeah.
It's the trap of the enemy. So he wants to divide. And he can divide big groups of people, but he wants to divide families. He wants to divide married couples. He wants to divide moms and kids. He wants to divide us. Like, anything he can divide, this is his game. So it all starts with offense. It all starts with unforgiveness. It all starts with quarrelsome. This is it. Like, this is the chessboard we're playing on.
Yeah.
And so, interesting, I will say this. So Jesus comes in and says, who do people say that I am? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter says, you're the Messiah, you're the Christ. And Jesus says to him, blessed art thou, Simon, Peter, for flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, but God the Father revealed this to you. Which means, here's what it says. You could not have got this with your brain. Something else influenced your process of thought to thinking to reveal that to you. Revelation, reveal. Okay, reveal it to you. You couldn't have known that unless God told you that, unless the spirit realm told you that. Okay? The next thing that happens, he gets done talking to them about that. He says, I'm going to go up to Jerusalem, okay? And I'm going to be killed. And Peter says, no, you're not. Not on my watch. Think about this. He rebuked him. The Bible says he rebuked Jesus. Rebuke means stop, you're wrong. I'm going to tell you what's right. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You just said to him, you're the Messiah, the Son of God. And now you're telling him what he's saying is wrong. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And Jesus turns his back to him and says, get behind me, Satan. You know not what spirit you are of. You don't care about the things of the spirit. You care about things of the flesh. What's happening again? He's influenced again by the spirit realm. He just got influenced by God, and then 20 minutes later, he just got influenced by the devil. And Jesus says, you don't know what spirit you are of to say that. Okay? Now go back to the verse. We war not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and rulers in darkness, basically the spirit realm. I don't want to get stupid crazy here, but there are things influencing us. Okay?
Yep.
There are divisions, things that are trying to influence us to divide us.
Yes.
Like, look at the country. Look at church alone. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'm saying. So when you look at unforgiveness and offense, it's so everywhere
Mhm.
that Jesus said all the law is summed up in two things: love God and love your neighbor. And you're not loving somebody if you're offended at them or if you're walking in unforgiveness with them. So this is, to me, it's where the rubber meets the road. Like, when you start talking about following Jesus, most people hit this stoplight and they're like, light turned green, and they're like, not going.
Mhm.
Do you know what right fighting is?
Yes.
Why don't you describe to me what right fighting is?
Right fighting is having an argument with all of the factual information laid in front of me. According to the information that's laid out in front of me, you're wrong and I'm right. Takes all emotion out of it,
Mhm.
takes all love out of it, and it's just dealing with the human flesh facts. No relationship,
Okay. So I'll say it like this.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So I'll say it maybe a different way. I'll give you my take on it. Right fighting is being right, technically right, but valuing those facts over relationship. So you basically choose facts over relationships. So this all started with, like, a Dr. Phil was on TV, and this woman was talking to her family, and he's saying all this stuff, or she's saying all this stuff. I don't remember exactly if it was a guy or a girl. I'm going to say it for this story's sake.
Mhm.
It was a woman talking about her family, and Dr. Phil is listening to her, and he's just like, yep, yep, yep. He gets done, he looks at the family, he says, she's right. She's right about everything she just said. Except because she's right, she's ruined all the relationships with all you. And you valued being right over all your relationships here. And that's right fighting. And we talk about it at work.
Mhm.
Like, the guys will come in and we have a customer, we have a client, and I'll be like, I'm right about this. Like, right don't pay the bills.
No.
Being right does not pay the bills.
No.
So, and I'm not saying to be a doormat, but if you're so principled that you can't see the forest for the trees, human interaction is the thing. Love God, love people. Like, there's going to be a time where you're right, somebody's wrong. Are you willing to sacrifice relationship over that? Because that's actually what we're doing.
Yes.
So when somebody wrongs you, or or you're getting an argument about something, there's two different sides to that. Okay. And when you choose to be offended or walk in unforgiveness in that moment, you're choosing the facts or how you perceive it over the relationship, over the value of the person. And so, to me, depending on the relationship, some people, there's no relationship at all. You don't know them. So that's an easy one to go like, yeah, it's easier to not go that route. But when it's your kids or your spouse or, somebody you work with, it's more difficult.
Yeah. So something that I found myself doing when I need to forgive or throw in the offense is that I ask myself, so let's say my wife does something to irritate me and I get extremely irritated and it like hurt my feelings over it, I stop myself and go, does my wife really want to hurt my feelings?
Mhm.
Does she really want to hurt me?
Mhm.
And when I can check myself up with that, it's like, okay, it's way easier to go, you know what? I know my wife loves me. I know she doesn't want to belittle me. And then I can go back and have the conversation. And it makes it's just when you ask yourself that question, and even let's say a stranger, cuts me off. Hey, first off, do I know that guy? No, I don't. And I don't know, back to where we started. I don't know that person. They could be having a bad day. Let's not. Why make this into something that it's not? I try to use that to check myself up. And on the flip side, also go, okay, Jesus has forgiven me for a lot of stuff, and he still loves me. He's not going, hey, Josh, remember that time when you did this? I'll remember that. Or, yeah, I've done that in my past. Yeah, remember when you did that? Well, obviously I haven't forgiven. Jesus isn't doing that to me. Slate's clean. Every minute.
Probably the one that changed my perspective the most on this is the story of the prodigal son. So, because the story is not about the prodigal son, it's about the prodigal sons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so the younger brother goes and asks for his inheritance, which basically telling the dad, I wish you were dead because you get inheritance when you die. The dad gives him his inheritance. He goes and blows it on crazy living. And when he goes to come home, he says he ends up feeding pigs, not of money. And he's like, even my dad's servants have food. I'll go back at a minimum and become his servant because I'm not worthy to be his son anymore because of what I've done. I'll go back and be one of his servants. At least I'll have food. I won't starve to death, which is a whole other story. But because he, in my opinion, if he'd had more money, he'd have kept going. His heart wasn't really that much different than when he left. It's just his pockets were empty. Okay. So he comes home for food, right? And he tells us, he says to himself, I'm going to tell my dad everything I've done wrong. I'm going to get there and be like, I'm not worthy to be your son. I'm going to tell my dad everything I've done wrong. I'm not here to be your son. Let me just hire me. Okay. Well, when he gets there, the dad runs out to him, kisses his neck while he's trying to tell him everything he did wrong. The father is not having it. He's just not talking to him about it. He's excited. He puts a coat on him. He restores he restores him completely and throws a party for him, kills a fatted calf. Now think about the sons being like, hey, no, wait, no, I'm not trying to become a son anymore. I'm just here I just need some food. And he's trying to argue his way. So think about that with you. You would think that when you go talk to God, he wants to discuss everything you've ever done wrong. And you're going to be in this negotiation about, this is what I was thinking about then. And he's not, he's celebrating you. Mm-hmm. Okay. The scarier part of the story is the other brother who made the argument to the dad. So they go having a party. The older brother comes up and asks the servant, what's going on in the barn? He's like, yeah, we're having
the right fighter.
Correct. Yes. The other brother says, what's going on in the barn? He's like, well, your brother came back. And they're having a party in there. And he's like, what for? Like, does anybody know what he's been doing? Now, this is the accuser. Mm-hmm. This is us. So we're all in the story. We're looking at, he's offended at his brother, who's not apologizing, by the way, but is spending the money of the farm that he's been running while he's gone. So the dad comes out to the other brother and says, hey, your brother's back. Come have a party with us. He's like, are you kidding me? It's like, I'm not going in there. It's like, he took it. Technically, if you knew the story, he took a third of everything we had and went and blew it. And then he comes back and you're celebrating him. And you want me to come in there and celebrate him? And dad says, hey, he was dead. Now he's alive. He's back. This is no different than us having a conversation with God. Be like, he's offended me. He took from me. That sucker took from me. And you're celebrating him for it. You're giving him a free pass for it. So this got in my head, okay? The Father of God is represented the dad. And the quarrels comes between the brothers. And he's out there saying, and listen, the older brother never lied to the dad in what he said. I've been here. Never left. I do chores every day. He did this, this, and this. No lies. Everything was right, he said. That guy would have recruited me in 30 seconds. I would have had a bigger party outside the barn with people who thought that it was bullcrap that we were having a party. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He would have recruited me in 30 seconds. But you find yourself in the opposition to God, the Father, when you're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You see, the owner, the father figure who represents God in here is forgiving the person that you're not forgiving. And he's the one holding forgiveness. He owns forgiveness. So just put it this way. Jesus is the one who owns forgiveness. He's the only one that actually can forgive because he's the only righteous one. He's the one that owns it. He's the one that actually would give you the forgiveness to forgive somebody if you would say, I need some because I'm out. I don't have any. Do you understand what I said?
Mm-hmm.
If you say, I'll follow you, but you're going to have to give me the forgiveness that I need to forgive this person with, he'd be like, okay, because I'm the one that owns it all. Does that make sense? When he's willing to forgive that guy, you have no right to not forgive them. Who are you to disagree with him about who gets forgiveness or who doesn't? He's the one that got nailed to the cross. He's the one that took the stripes on his back. He's the one that took the crown on his head. He's the one that got punched in the face. He's the one that got his beard ripped out of his face. And if he can stand there on that cross and look down and be like, they don't know what they're doing, forgive them. You might have been wronged. You might be offended, but you have not been more offended and been more wronged than Jesus. It's his forgiveness. All he's asking you is to give it for him. Does that make sense?
That's powerful.
I looked at the prodigal son story when I got done. I'm like, I don't have a right. My heavenly Father's recruiting me to forgive. He came out of the party and said, hey, your brother was dead. He's now alive. Can you celebrate anything good here? Can you see any good in this? Or do you only stare at what that person did to you? The Father values life, not deeds. It's not our good deeds that get us into heaven, and it's not our bad deeds that keep us out. It is strictly on the forgiveness of Jesus. And when you understand that, and you really understand it, you don't have a right to withhold it. It's not yours. It's not your decision. And so when that happened to me, I was forever changed by it. Because that's how, that is an example of the Word of God changing my perspective. Because somebody challenged me that story wasn't about the prodigal son, it was about the prodigal sons. And guess what? The older son never went to the party. The Bible doesn't say that he did. That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
That, to me, sums it up for forgiveness. That story. Like, this is freedom. It's not yours.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You're just distributing it for him.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm doing it for him and not if I'm doing it for him and not because I'm not doing it for you, the one that offended me, I'm not making anything you did right. I'm just forgiving you because I'm doing it for him. Because he did it for me.
Amen.
That's it. It's just that. So I know for a fact we're not done here, but we're not coming back here for part 2 right now. Like, forgiveness is probably something we're going to hit 4 times a year because it's going to come up because it just keeps coming up. It'll need addressed and addressed and addressed and addressed.
Yeah.
So it's good stuff. That's a wrap.